ओ ईश्वर मेरे को शक्ति देना, ओ ब्रह्मा मेरे को शक्ति देना, ओ काली माँ, ओ मदर काली, ओ माता काली, ओ काली अम्मा, ओ मदर काली, ओ माता काली मेरे को शक्ति दे. Lead me in the path of truth and wisdom. O Ishwar, O Shivaji Maharaj, O Brahman, O the ultimate, lead me in the path of truth and wisdom, and make my body that I surrender, my sharir, my jism, that I surrender to you in your path which has no fear or duality. Duality is the root cause of your suffering. When you have plurality, when you have polarity, it's the root cause of your suffering. You are in the journey and you are in the cycle of samsara, the cycle of birth and bodily demise. You are in the journey, you are in samsara, the cycle of birth and bodily demise, because you have duality. When there is no duality, there is no experience. I tell you always this, because I see how you are suffering, how see you look at life right now, and you ask me or other mystics that what happens when we die. You see, means you have profound a hope in the back of your mind that maybe this suffering would end after I die. You see, you live in that illusion. I am here to bring clarity in you. It just depends how you live your life and how you die. Both. It's not necessary everyone gets to see the light. Yes, this 12 o'clock. Have you heard of 12 o'clock midnight? You get excited on that time, huh? 12 o'clock, I started meditating and I went into a profound state where there is no duality. There is just, if the sense that I get you in touch time to time. I do this spiritual trick on you. Trick not necessarily in a bad sense, but to get you in touch with yourself with no duality. If I wipe all your memory away right now, you wouldn't be able to tell the difference what the door is or the window, or what your jism, what your sharir is. You see, you wouldn't be able to. You do remember, you are missing the point. You do not remember anything. You see, whatever was fed to you, the abstract, whatever was shoved in you, you don't remember anything. And then I ask you to close your eyes and simply breathe. You see, and then I wipe down the memory of your own body or jism. What is happening now? It's a practical trick that brings you or gets you in touch with your real self. Real self is no one's property. That's God. There is the very sense when you close your eyes, you have no memory of your body, jism or sharir. You have no memory of your body, jism or sharir. And somehow, hypothetically, I am saying I have wiped all the memory. So do not miss the point that you have no memory of any type, including your body. And I have you close your eyes and you sit straight and you are simply breathing. But the point is, with or without memory, you are existing. With or without even the memory of your body, you are existing, isn't it? So it looks like your existence does not depend on anything which is abstract. It looks like your existence does not depend on anything which is abstract, isn't it? Abstract is everything that is being handed over to you, and after a certain period of time, when the lies are repeated over and over, you start believing this is what you are. But I just performed a practical on you. The memory thing that you are missing the point. I have taken all the memory away. You are missing the point. I have wiped the memory of your body as well, but you still exist, isn't it? And when you close your eyes, there is nothing in your mind, not a single thought, because remember, thought was made out of memory. You see, memory is limited. You see, memory is limited. And when thought is made out of memory, thought itself also is limited. If now, in this very practice that I just gave you, you have no memory of any type, but you close your eyes, you know you are existing. Are you not? Challenge me, have a debate with me, have argument with me if you are aware of otherwise, if you think that what I'm saying is wrong or what I'm saying is a lie. Not wrong or right in the sense of morality, you see, but even if you look at it through the perspective of your mind that you have become slave of, or your thought, you still would agree that what Yaz is saying is true. No memory, but I still exist, isn't it? So it means that you are something beyond what you have been told. That was one of the thing that was one of the trick, or that was one of the thing that I wanted to give you. You see, very easy. It works on the imagination, but after a certain period of time, we take the imagination away. What remains is you. No duality here. You see, you are missing the point. I am using your imagination to get you in touch, and I leave you over there. Sit. And then you gain power from sacred. You see, you need to have your focus intact with me. What I'm saying, it is coming from the boredom of the source of everything, the source of the creation. And when I say creation, you wouldn't say creations, because according to English grammar is not right. You would say creation, which is singular, and is used for everything in a creation. I, right now in this moment, is extremely in touch with the source of creation, or the source of everything. We have different names. We have the name Allah, we have the name Jehovah, we have the name Ram, Rahim, Krishna. We have the name Ram, Rahim, Krishna. We have the name Shiva or Brahman, or if your modem, of course, is designed English, then you would use the word consciousness or the sense of self-awareness. Or in Hindi we say Chit. Or in Hindi we say Chit. Or Sakshi, the silent witness of everything. So this is the one that I gave you a tool. I wouldn't call it that's it. Because remember, when I am in a state of meditation, and when I am one with the source, and when I am one with the source of everything, I don't use my intellect. So earlier in the beginning of this retreat, I used the word trick, but now I have a rather better and profound and comprehensive word, which is tool. This is the tool to get you in touch. Imagination plays important role. So when you go into meditation, you leave your memory aside, as somebody has wiped all the memory. You leave the memory of your body aside, as somebody has wiped the memory of the body too, or the memory of the body also. Are you following me? When you go in a state of meditation, you sit straight as I am sitting. I'm rocking myself because the energy, the prana which is running through my body right now is very, very high. Because, of course, I have been in a state of samadhi only a couple of hours, and then I have been in meditation, profound meditation. I still am in profound meditation. It does, the awareness comes to me. Somebody, or usually people ask me that, does it happen like you're hearing voices? It's fine. I'm not mocking you. That's not my job, basically. But you bring humor time to time. As I mentioned, that humans crack me up, you know what I mean? So, no, you just know intuitively. There are so many things you know intuitively. It's just that you have forgotten to trust your guts or intuition, because you trust everything outside of you. You have faith that a gun is going to save you if your life is in danger, isn't it? Or you have faith that if you get equipped with the right tools, means weapons and all type of defensive things, objects around you, you have a faith it would defend you, isn't it? But let me tell you this, hear me out, open yourself very and focus. I'm about to tell you, it's wrong. When your time is up, if you go in a concrete bunker, you see, have you seen a bunker? Or you barricade yourself in concrete, you see, with the uh, blocks of iron, literally, and there is nothing there but yourself, and you are totally surrounded with concrete walls, iron roof, or iron ceiling, or iron ground. If your time is up, your time is up. And I promise you, you cannot extend that more than a second. You see, it would come out of nowhere. You wouldn't even know, and you are done. You see, you don't understand the immensity of kahuna, the immensity of source. So, tool as I gave you in this video first, that you imagine for some time, not that it is happening, that you take your memory aside, you take the memory of your body aside, you close your eyes, you do not rock back and forth until unless you have established your ground. Then you intuitively would rock back and forth like me, you see, but you are not there yet. This, what you are happening, is happening after 20 years of dedication, precisely last 7-8 years, the full dedication. No matter what happens, I wake up, um, I had 2 hours sleep, I had 20 hours sleep. No matter what's going on around me, I am going through sorrow, I'm going through depression, I am in the state of ecstasy. I am having a debate with thinking mind, or I have no thought in my mind. I am in ecstasy, or I am in deep depression. Meditation is something I never quit, you see. And then when that happens, you see the cause and effect. You know things that other people around you, an average person specifically who does not meditate and even does not even believe in meditation, it's basically, you are on your own, buddy. You see, when the time is up, nobody is there to rescue you. I can promise you that, you know. But the person who meditates like that and does not leave, even if I have to drag myself, I'm so depressed that I'm laying down on the couch. I'm giving you examples today. And or I am struggling with my life. I meditate in any shape or form. Even if I cannot sit up and have my back straight, I lay straight and pay attention to my breathing. And I put all the memory aside, memory of everything, memory of my body even. I close my eyes, I sit attentive. It looks like that my existence is not depending on the memory, isn't it? I'm still existing even though when I am closing my eyes. All I know is just a sense, isn't it? That I am, isn't it? Can you deny what I'm saying to you or no? Can you deny? Can you try and deny that? No matter how hard you look at it, no matter if you have the intellect of Albert Einstein or the intelligence of Albert Einstein, Can you deny what I'm saying? If you have wiped your own memory, hypothetically, for example, if you have wiped, or if some mystic has wiped your memory of body even in, and you close your eyes and you sit and you still have a sense, where is that sense? You just see blankness, isn't it? That's all you experience when there is no memory of any type. You experience blankness, isn't it? Where is that blankness? Now, mind you, you are missing the point. You don't even know about dimensions or directions because remember, your memory is wiped out. See, everything is that, depending on that right now. You see, you don't even have the sense of direction. You don't even know what is up and what is down because you are totally in this moment in time, in this state, you are in intuition, isn't it? You would act on intuition. That's what real human is. You see, that's what you have forgotten. You can thank me later. It's such a powerful tool. I know that. I know what you are saying. You are saying it's extremely powerful tool, and we never looked at life that way. You are not looking at life. Life is just the ambience of what you are. You are looking at the source of everything right now. It's a very smart tool for the beginners, specifically in meditation. In meditation, you are resting. You understand what I'm saying to you or no? In this state, you are resting. If you rewatch so far what I have told you, specifically the meditation aspect, that's my life. And I want to give you the clarity. Your meditation would become so easy. And in the rapid amount of time, you would gain so much energy. But remember something, do not judge. If you are meditating, even though what I told you, and you know that it is an extremely sound and powerful tool, and you are saying that he has just made it very easy for us, even with all these good things, if you look at people and you try to compare yourself, then it would dissipate soon, my loved ones, my seers. We want you to conserve your energy and erase it. You see, now for me personally, I'm not saying you should do that, but I'm saying personally for me, I do not have no discrimination, right, of any type. Discrimination, please understand, discrimination not necessarily is a negative thing. Discrimination is a negative thing when you discriminate among the beings on the behalf of color. Color? What exactly is going on with that drama, though? I don't understand, you know. A few years back, I was living in Florida, and some woman, you know, she was working with me in a retail environment, and she looked at me and she said, "But you are brown." So I didn't lash out or anything. I looked in her eyes like this. I said, "I'm not. I'm projecting I'm brown." So she kind of veered out. She couldn't make anything out of it. Maybe she saw something coming out of my eyes, and she just distanced herself. And I said, "Hey, hey, hey, come here." I said, "And your point is, what's the point you are making here?" She said, "Never mind." I said, "Watch your words, what you put out there, you know, it would come back to you. And I can reverse it right now even, but I don't want to do that. You need to be very careful what you say to people. You understand?" So I told her that. And I said, "Watch your mouth. Because you are the one who is going around and spitting hate. I didn't take it seriously because you have no control on me or how I perceive things. I'm liberated. I am transcended. But if you say to other people, they would get mad at you. And the whole dharma is turning into negativity. You see, I give you every aspect to look at one experience. That's why I speak in detail, and I speak so simple. That's why I speak in detail and I speak so simple that I make it just very, very easy for you. You understand? So discrimination in that sense is wrong. But discrimination, for me, I have transcended that definition of discrimination, and average human discriminates. For me, discrimination aspect is gone. Even I am in my body. It usually happens when people pass on. But for me, it's gone. I do not discriminate on the behalf of color. And I also do not now discriminate between sorrow and happiness. You see, there is a different state of being, there is a different state of living, if you understand that. You have not experienced that state, or maybe you have. I don't like to make assumptions. My words, I remind you time to time, go by to whom it is concerned or to whom it may concern. So do not judge or discriminate the standard of an average human. Otherwise, your energy cannot be conserved. It would dissipate very, very soon. You understand that? We don't want that for you. For me, it has come to a point. If you saw a few photos I posted, right, I came out of samadhi, because if I didn't come out that time, I had the realization I would leave the body. And I don't want to die here right in front of the camera. But anyway, so, or in the corner by the couch or something like this, funny too. Anyway, so I have no, it's just like any hurt or happiness has no meanings for me now. So when you get around that, now you are getting close to a state we understand as bliss, you see, or nirvana, or bliss. Like you, after a certain period of time, through your chakras, after a certain period of time, through your chakras, it raises so up high, basically, that it becomes still in you, constant. It's what the word I'm looking for in English is the common denominator. It is now a stillness. That's what I'm saying. You have not experienced stillness. Once you experience stillness, you don't want to experience anything, no matter how potent or high a substance. Imagine hypothetically, not that it is going to happen, whatever the highest of high or pleasure or happiness, the memory you have in your mind, it cannot even get close to that state once you experience stillness. That's why I said most of you have not experienced stillness. In this state, there are no traits. In this state, there is no right or wrong. In this state, there is no morality. In this state, there are no abstract concepts. And in this state, everything revolves around you. You realize you are the center of creation. You understand that? It may be very difficult for you to wrap your mind around what I am saying to you. But one day, and I wish you would experience that state. For me, I am tapping now because of my dedication to my practice, Kriya meditation. I am tapping on that now. So I posted the photos and the picture, and I showed you the back of my crown chakra. That's where, and I pointed that out. A person who is performing, I'm personally not saying about me, I'm saying about every person who is performing meditation, copium amount of meditation every day, and taking the right measures, then there is no stopping you. After, if you do, I have elaborated, I have highlighted what are the right measures. Remember, not long ago, I think it's just in October, I think the beginning of October, I mentioned, in the beginning of October, I mentioned that how to take the right measures and stuff like that. And then your energy is conserved. And the more meditation you do the right way, the right tool I gave you in the beginning of this, if you do that and you raise your bar of time, one day, 5 minutes. If you miss for any number of reasons, look, life happens. You are very heavily conditioned by different traits. It's not going to go in a day. It's not going to go in 2 days. People are so depressed and they are so involved in their psychological drama. They want a solution just like that. Everything takes time. There is time in nature. The world, the nature, the creation does not revolve around you. Nature includes everybody. Life includes everybody. There is no cut through enlightenment. There is no cut through clarity. But these are the things that I give you as tool that you can get there, but you have to dedicate. Mind would tell you if you missed a day or two of meditation, mind would say, look at what you have done. You see, you useless. You sit over there for nothing. You gotta do something with your life. No, you don't. You don't. It's not necessary to do something all the time with yourself, if you understand. It's not necessary. And then when it wouldn't work on you, it would say, look around you, and it would try to find an object. And then it would ask you to justify the object. All this is mind trick for no reason. You are not getting any pleasure in the process, but it wants to hook your attention all the time. So otherwise it has no job. It used to be employed. That's what I'm saying. Now, with the right measures and meditation, you keep it in your pocket. Look, if you are meditating against depression, OCD, anxiety, schizophrenia, or whatever our karma is attached to us, it happens to each one of us. Nobody's better here. It's not the point. The very mind, which actually is a house for these disorders and karma, is going to fight you, because now you are trying to free yourself from these things, you see, from this karma. So it's going to play tricks on you. It's going to say, look, you missed one day. Look, you couldn't even move. Look what you are doing with your life. You got to do something. No, you don't. You don't listen to the mind unless it's prompting you to take care of something which is happening in your surroundings, and God forbid me, can hurt you physically. Then you listen to it. It's like a defense mechanism. Keep it that way. I keep time to time, I tell you all that. Now you probably are baffled or fascinated that I don't have a single thought in my mind and all this pouring out of me. You can get there too when you transcend the mind. Mind is the root cause of suffering. Know that, okay? My time is getting very close as far as transition. I know it intuitively. It didn't happen on my birthday as I speculated. My birthday was August 8th, and I thought that I wouldn't be 44. But I also know that awareness was given to me intuitively. The awareness was given to me through secret. There are beings around who are asking that you stick around. That was the awareness was given to me. Because Brahman said, what do you want? Brahman is limitless. Brahman is cosmos. Brahman is eternity. Brahman is the common denominator, which cannot be seen, felt, touched, tasted. It's non-local. It does not exist in dimensions. It does not exist in time. Is the source of everything, which runs through every experience. It's running through my voice right now. It's running through your hearing right now. It's running through this accumulation. What you understand as body is running through your accumulation. It's running through everything that you are experiencing around you, including my looks and the sight and the sound of my voice, but it's not affected by it. In other words, through through me, if I only look at it through the perspective of a separate self, through me, God is experiencing this. You see the irony in that? God, it's creating first all this too. Don't miss that. Very powerful, isn't it? It's liberty, it's extreme liberation. But you are so fascinated with the narrow band around you. मेरे को शक्ति दे, मेरे को शक्ति दे मेरे को. But you are so fascinated with the three-dimensional reality around you, the narrow band. You need to pull your band and make it a broad band. Then you can fit in right, So that's what exactly is happening. You see that it's constipated. Consciousness is now running through in its purest form, because you are fascinated. But for me, I said this, through me, the source of everything is experiencing. as it is offering, and it is also creating this. So in a way, it is creating and it's putting itself in that experience. You see, that's all it is. You do not exist in as individual. I can promise my life on it. Only if you have the eyes to look that way. You see, we are working on it for you. We are working on it for you humans. I'm not saying it with any arrogance. Human is a form that you take. You understand? I look like a human, isn't it? A slightly bit. मेरे को शक्ति. I look slightly like a human. Sometimes people say you don't really qualify. Human is a form. You heard of esoteric? It's an English word. Esoteric. Esoteric is the knowledge that is only confined. You have to have a certain type of frequency or receptivity to understand that. You understand? In India, I personally am from India, but I'll tell you also, in India, a long time ago, because India is the birth of wisdom, you see, because of the sages, because of the yogis, the rishis. A rishi is a person who experienced God firsthand, not by, or the mystics, you see, like Shri Ramakrishna was. So India is the birth of wisdom. But when there were caste system before, and some of them were very rigid in their ways. You are not going to believe this, and I have no problem because it's in the history. If I mention other countries' history, I cannot close my eyes of the very country where I came from. No, otherwise it's not fair. And I believe in fairness. You see, personally, I believe in fairness. So in India, when the sages sat and started the journey of inner exploration. Sage, just so you know, sage is a person that you cannot comprehend your mind around that what sage is. I have mentioned sage, but I didn't elaborate in detail about it. We would do that some other time. When those 100 sages sat and did the inner exploration, that how many layers you encompass right now, the level of existence within you. When a thought occurs, what prompts you to take a certain action, everything about your existence they found out. And that knowledge was considered sacred, esoteric. There were poor people who were ignorant to that knowledge. And when if sector became, what the word I'm looking for, orthodox. Orthodox is the word. You see tons of vocabulary. Anytime I have to pull a word out of my memory, I use my intellect. Rest is not. Orthodox or more fanatic form of a certain philosophy or a religion or whatever you want to call it. Anyway, so they didn't like an average poor person because they assumed in their mind. I'm not talking about sages. I'm talking about the people sages passed the wisdom to. Some of them became orthodox. Some. And when they would watch an average human, they didn't have no comprehension of the knowledge. So they would punish them, or they would turn them into deaf so they wouldn't be able to hear anymore. And it's a very sad situation. You understand? Very sad. But it is the part of the history also that cannot be denied because it happened. Because credit must be given, credit must be given where the credit is due, and truth must be told as it happened. It doesn't matter. That's how we grow and that's how we evolve from our mistakes and stuff. But that happened long time ago, numerous thousand years back. So esoteric is the knowledge of the universe, the limitless, but you have to have a certain level of receptivity. Receptivity means you are on a certain vibration. Otherwise, you would think the person who is telling you that is crazy. You understand? And usually a person like that who encompasses practically that kind of wisdom looks crazy. But you see, the thing is, it's not that person is crazy, because crazy for one, namaskar, it's not the person is crazy. It's not the person is crazy, because crazy for one is maybe overrated or subjective or subject to other people's opinion. But usually, um, uh, for a more acceptable definition of crazy on the fundamental level, a proper crazy person is one who cannot tell the difference from right and wrong, isn't it? Anyway, I'm not going to into too much detail because I don't want to be too bent, you know. So you, if you do not have the comprehension of somebody what the person is saying, you would say person is crazy, because the level of your comprehension is not on the same frequency as the person is speaking, isn't it? I want you to deny what I said. Try me, isn't it? Because you are not on the same frequency. That's why you want an easy way out. You cannot wrap your mind around. You have a title, a label in your mind. You say this is weird or crazy, and you go other way. You would never be able to evolve. You have to have an open awareness about everything which is happening and everything which is being said. Some of the stuff I say here, you probably think I am crazy. I think you are crazy. So who is crazy and who is not crazy? It just depends on our perception. Because I am the center of my perception, I know what I am saying. You are the center of your perception, you know what you are saying. If you have no receptivity in that sense, that's why it is confined to only one or a few people. But you can raise your awareness, you can bring your frequency high, then you would understand what the mystics say, then you would understand what the meditators say, then you would understand what the yogi says, what the rishi says, what the sages says, what the sannyasi says, what the caveman says, what the wise people says. Then you would understand. You see Rumi, he's one of the brilliant beings in the world, in the history of this globe. You know that? Some of the things, or most of the things that he said, is beyond an average person's comprehension. You wouldn't understand because he was a mystic, because he experienced life firsthand, not by your handed over information. Also, I have no problem saying that Rumi was not a Muslim, just in case if you assume that kind of fact. He was in Persia, the combination of Iran, Iraq, Sham, back then, in those days. Iran, Iraq, you have heard of these countries, right? It was called Persia. He was from there, basically. And the prominent religion, that's the word I'm looking for, prominent. And the prominent religion that time was Islam. It still is, by the way. But a Rumi was a mystic. A mystic does not believe in no religion. Religions are human constructs. You see, it is not coming from divine. Like a mystic, you know how a mystic lives? For instance, what is this here in the bottle? It is water. It's not really, you do not know what the object is in truth, isn't it? It's, you do not know. I say we will call it water, whatever your name is, Rita or Richard or John or Bridget or Kim or April or Ishtar or Universal, whatever your name is. Any of these number of people, me and them, we agree, we will call it water. It becomes water for us. That's how you create your abstract reality. Have you ever pondered yourself on that? But it becomes water. If we do not agree, it's nothing. It's, we do not know what the object is, you see. We do not know what the object is. This is pure wisdom. When you look at life so close, as my mentor Don Miguel Ruiz from southern Mexico tells you in his book, these, he brings a lot of clarity regarding what the words are, what the words do, and how humans create abstract reality. It's a brilliant, he's a brilliant being, and he's enlightened. I have no doubt in my mind. A person, a person, a person of the magnitude of that, a person of which has the wisdom of that kind of magnitude is enlightened. The person is here only because you are suffering, you see, and he helped me tremendously in my journey. But I am on a point now where I say I am balanced enough, so I'm going to play my part. One day you would become balanced enough, so one day you would become balanced enough, so you would play your part. You see, that's what our goal is. The goal of yogis to bring unity in human perception. So that's how everything we create, abstract reality, water. Mystic, however, does not agree to the meanings. You see, I remember, I don't want to be too bent, remember? So, mystic does not believe what you believe. You see, you look at a tree, you can define tree in 1,000 words, you can define tree in billion and billions of words, you can define every you can define every leaf, every branch, every root of the tree. You understand what I'm saying to you or no? With words only, isn't it? But in reality, does the tree know it's a tree? I'm asking you a very simple question. You go to that tree that you defined and you wrote the entire book of 10,000 words and you defined everything. You go to the tree and you ask the tree, do you know you are a tree? Do you think tree knows it's a tree? If you think tree knows it's a tree, you better start working on yourself, and you better start working on yourself really fast. I am not saying it with any arrogance. You better start working on yourself, and you better start working on yourself really fast to acquire a certain type of receptivity. To answer to that is nothing knows its what. You see, you call yourself a human, but you are not a human. You are a mystery in the entire universe. You could be the biggest mystery, but you are not a human. You see, you agreed to the meanings. This is what we call human. You see, that's why. And I do not, that's what a mystic is, because I personally practice mysticism. So Rumi didn't believe any second-hand information. You see, that's why I do not believe in gender, and I project that on other people. I can come across like a woman, I can come across like a man. It just depends what I am surrounded with, what the experience is around, you see, and I project that. And it's natural for me. That's what we understand, the slight of the law of manifestation. But we wouldn't go into that just yet. You see, I'm given pouring out wisdom, but it's so much that your mind can only encompass small things one at a time, isn't it? So, numerous things I said today, numerous. Some of these things you would take time, but the only, if you are so, what the word I'm looking for in English, if you are so adamant, you see, that's the word. If you are so adamant to give title to this retreat or what I told you, because your mind always is looking to put titles on things, isn't it? You see a human, you want a title, it's a black human. You see a human, you want a title, it's a white human. You see a human, you want a title, it's brown human. You see, I do not even title that it's a human. You understand? You leave me with the most difficult person to get along with, and I can bet my carnation I would just get along with that person. That person would become my fan. And how does that happen? It only happens when you get to the life which is running through in the person. And if in order to get there, you have to transcend your mind. You understand? So if you wanna give this everything that I said today, if you want to give it a title, it would be just wisdom. That encompasses everything, if you understand. Because your mind wants to just label everything. That's why you are not free. You, in order to get in touch in the prana, which is Sanskrit, it the life energy which is running through you. You need to get in touch. The same life energy is running through everyone. That's why I do not pay attention to abstract things. I get in touch extremely quick with that life energy because I know myself. When I know myself and I know the same life energy is running through you, so it seems like that I'm talking about you. But actually, I'm just talking about myself, and me and you, the same life energy is running through. The same life energy is running through you, if you understand. And what happens is when that happens, you you get bond, you form a bond with the energy, and you don't really have to um, for to put any type of efforts to. You do not really have to put any type of efforts to form a bond with that life energy. The only effort you gotta put is to transcend duality in you. You see, duality is the cause of suffering. That's how I started this retreat. Wisdom and transcend duality. The only thing you gotta transcend is the duality. You see, duality is this person does not look like me, so this person must be against me. Duality is I do not agree. Duality is me versus you. Duality is we versus them. Duality is my people and your people. Duality is my way or a highway. All this is duality and is the cause of human suffering. You see, once you transcend, and and mind only operates on duality. If there is no mind, there is no duality, there is no mind, mind you. Talking about mind, mind you. You see, if there is no duality in you, there is no mind, there is just eternity. And you would not get around what I'm saying to you, but you would get around eventually. And you would say, yeah, yes, he he mentioned that time I didn't get around it, my mind didn't get around it, but I can see that way now. When you bring your frequency, you see, as I said, esoteric is what that is, that it requires you to be on a certain level of frequency. So Rumi was a mystic, his frequency off the chart. Sometimes I mention things people have rough time. In the end of every retreat, I tell you, ask me. Because I know that you may not be on the same frequency. This is not arrogance. I'm inviting you to question if you are confused about something. That's all it is. But since you have learned to jump into the conclusion so rapidly, so your mind can rest, your mind is never going to rest well, is going to move over and over to the next one. I can guarantee you that I have transcended this mind for the most part. Not all. If I transcended the mind, all you would not see me. I would leave my body because there is no experience then. Ramakrishna, Shri Ramakrishna Pramanshaya. You see, if you watch my retreats, 204, 8, or 214 or 15, whatever that is on YouTube, on my YouTube channel, sometime I have a picture of a saint behind me. You see, a picture of a saint behind me. Was a Hindu mystic. Excuse me, Shri Ramakrishna Pramanchaya was a Hindu saint and a mystic. A mystic is a mystic. It's not that Islamic mystic or European mystic or a Hindu mystic. No, mystic is flat out, just mystic. That's it. However, he was a Hindu saint and a mystic. That person was so powerful that he could manifest reality around him. You understand? And he also was the part of the light. He came to this planet out of sympathy and compassion for those around because we see how you humans act on different numerous levels. If you saw this person that you cannot because he passed on long time ago, it's over a century or something. It was British Raj in India. You see, you have heard of British Raj, you know what that is. So it was British Raj in India, and in in British Raj, he would, you know, Any time he would go on the street, a band, a band of people would follow him, just be around him. If he was around in the vicinity, ठाकुर ठाकुर मेरे को शक्ति दे, तेरी बात बोल रहा हूं. So if you, a band of people would be around him. He didn't ask for people to be around him, but they would, because if you were in his vicinity, there would be goosebumps on your skin only if he was a mile away even from you. Can you understand the magnitude of his energy? That's a saint. Now, also, I have a small recollection being with him. Okay, some of these things are so private I cannot tell you, because I was a woman and I had a relation with him. You see, and it is so private. And I was his disciple. I was a woman at that time. He was a mystic, and he could manifest reality. He was so potent that you cannot even begin to imagine the magnitude of his potency, And that triggered a few years back in me, and everything came back to me. That was a different lifetime. And I said, okay, I need to get. So I imported that picture from India, by the way. But here I couldn't find anywhere. So I imported the picture of Shri. So when he was around people, he would do things that people would say, this guy is crazy. He would jump off the vehicle and block the traffic and start dancing. He would get drunk and extremely intoxicated and stuff like that. And now I'm not projecting that you should do the same, because remember something, he was on a different level of awareness. You see, he was on a different level of frequency. You are not. He could handle things that most human cannot even imagine to handle. That all I can tell from my recollection and the relation I had with him. Okay. So this is what I wanted to say, that bring your awareness up, be on a certain level of frequency. This is all wisdom. You see, if you are adamant to attach a title, and bring your frequency so you can understand things that cannot be easily understood through this kind of mind that is not sharp. And number two, transcend duality in you. Because once you transcend duality in you, then suffering ends. Duality is the cause of suffering, you understand? I would give you an example, you see. So imagine that you are watching a movie. You see, right now you probably may be very involved to what I am saying, and I can understand that. Imagine if you are watching a movie, and this movie is just marvelous, if you understand. If you are watching a movie, you heard the bell, shh, shh. You hang on, let me see how much time we have. Okay. Imagine we are watching a movie. What is Adveita? Adveita is Sanskrit, Vedic Sanskrit word. It means one without a second, if you understand. It means one without a second. It means there is no duality. Advaita and Vedanta. Vedanta, the gist of the Vedas, also Sanskrit. Anyway, not to be too bent. Imagine you are watching a movie, you see, and you are totally consumed and totally fascinated, and all your awareness is on in the movie. It's invested, it ingrained in the movie. The characters in the movie, whether the movie is fiction or horror or comedy or whatever. Imagine you are totally consumed what you are watching. The story, the directors, the cinematography, whatever the English words you want to talk, everything is on its prime, and that what makes a brilliant movie, isn't it? Now, what happens is you are fascinated and consumed in the movie, and then what happens is your friend or any of the acquaintance come in the room and says, "Pay attention to the screen on which the movie is being played." Shakti. Your friend comes and says, pay attention to the screen on which the movie is being played. So what happens in that very second? Have you ever noticed what the in the very moment, in the very second, if you can grasp that, what happens? You see, you get in touch with yourself, because what you are experiencing right now, this narrow band around you, the experience itself is just like the movie characters, the movie, the television, the movie characters you see, the movie, the sights in the movie, the characters, the sound in the movie. It's all that, this 3x dimensional experience, and you are fascinated with it. That's why you never paid attention to the screen. Is it fair to say that all there is to movie is the screen? Do you understand what I'm saying? Oh no. Is it fair to say all there is to the movie is the screen? If there is no screen, there is no movie. Is that correct? Just like that, if there is no Brahman, there is no experience. You are not the movie that you are fascinated with. You are the screen itself. That's what I'm saying. If you look at yourself through the perspective of the movie, you can perceive yourself through the perspective of an individual self. But it's abstract, it does not exist anywhere. It's everything that you know. But if you look at, and if Sakti, if you look at and through the perspective of the movie screen, all there is to the movie is the movie screen. So when the acquaintance or the friend comes in and just says, pay attention to the television screen, it's just like you are pulling a rubber band. You see, a thick rubber band, which is tight rubber band. And if you are pulling a rubber band and you're both of your fingers feeling the tension of the rubber band, between two of your fingers there's a tight rubber band, and both of your fingers are feeling the tension of that rubber band. And what happens is, when the friend or the acquaintance say, pay attention to the screen on which the movie is being played, it's just like you release the rubber band. You see, when you release the rubber band, what happens? The tension dissipates, it goes away. Just like that, when you pay attention to the screen, all the focus goes to the screen and you become shant, means more peaceful. You see, because there is a release of tension just when you release the rubber band between two of your fingers, just like that you release, there is a release, if you understand. So we want you to achieve also that state, that when you are by yourself, you do not consume in the drama which is going on, abstract drama in your mind. You retrieve back and you rest within, with the help of the tool I gave you in the beginning of this video. Do not go anywhere. Me and you are going to meditate together, because without practical there is no use of whatever the wisdom I have delivered. Wisdom and Adveita, the one without a second, there is no use of it. ओ मेरे को शक्ति, मेरे को शक्ति दे, मेरे को शक्ति दे, मेरे को शक्ति दे, मेरे को शक्ति दे, शक्ति. Sarvam Kalvidam Brahma. Sarvam Kalvidam Brahman. Everything that you have experienced, everything that you are experiencing right now in this moment, yeah, and everything that you would ever experience is one consciousness. That's it. Keep meditating and remember that I love you. I always have and I always will.